Hey, everybody, and welcome to another installment of Dear Deja. So let's get on to this letter real quick because I don't want to keep you guys, and I know you have been anticipating this letter. Dear Deja, I have a friend who I love dearly that is in a relationship. I love him, man. He treats my friend so good, and in all honesty, he's been a good bro to me as well, pitching in on gifts and dinners for my birthday, and even checking in with my son when his deadbeat ass dad can't step up. Sorry, y'all can't see that good. Just recently, I started seeing a street nigga. I was under the impression that the streets were dead, but apparently a new wave has hit. Who knows? Anyway, I finally was no longer third wheeling it and had my own to pay for my birthday dinner, so I was excited to celebrate. My birthday came around, which will also be the first time my sis and bro will meet my new boo. For whatever reason, upon initial introduction, I could see the energy of my bro shift. He's normally bubbly and friendly, but for whatever reason, he was quiet, reserved, and if I'm being honest, a little nasty. When my new boo got up and went to the bathroom, my bro said, "Where did you get this nigga from?" That right there let me know something was going on. My B-Day dinner ended kind of early this year. The next time I saw my boo, the next time I saw my friend, she was telling me how her man, my bro, was saying that my new boo wasn't a good look for me. When I went to link with my new boo that night, I asked if he liked my bro and how he felt the dinner went. Why this nigga said I was only there on the strength for you. I don't feast with fiends. I was taken aback. I said, "What you said?" He said, "You saw how uncomfortable that nigga was around me. I used to serve him." Then he proceeded to basically tell me my bro was on drugs. I really don't want to break my sis' heart, but I also don't want to keep this from her. What should I do? Signed. What should I do? Signed. I don't feast with fiends. All right. Well, congratulations, my homegirl, that you're no longer third wheeling it. Let me just say that, right? I want to go. Someone always give some positive feedback. So, congratulations that you're no longer third wheeling it. And from the sounds of things, you and your new boo, right? It might be going okay. It might be going okay. It might be going okay, right? So hopefully it is, because I didn't hear you say that you have any complaints with the new boo, right? So it seems like things between you and him are good. It's just that he revealed some news to you that may not make the relationship between you, your best friend, and her new man, aka your bro, good. All right, let's get all the way to the nitty gritty and let's get down to the bottom of what's going on. Let's start from the top. Street guys are, for the most part, from what I know, they're very generous, so that's what's up on getting a man that might, spend the bread on you. I don't know how deep in the street and in the trenches he is, so I don't know how safe this situation is, but in any event, you didn't present that there was any issues regarding your safety, and you're not in the streets, so I guess it's like, hey, that have nothing to do with you, right? Got it. As far as the relationship with your friend and the relationship with your friend's boyfriend, right? I do love the fact, because I've been in a situation like that plenty of times where my friends or my family members have dated people and I've become very close with those people, right? To a point that I'm calling them my brother or my sister or whatever the case may be, right? And that's a beautiful thing. I think it's lovely to develop and cultivate relationships that are positive, especially surrounding your friends and family members, because you don't want issues with your friends and family members' spouses. So I think that's nice. I think that's beautiful, and I think that that should continue. But I also think I'm going to have to talk about the number one thing that I discuss in most of my live videos, most of my Dear Deja videos, which is boundaries. Boundaries, 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 boundaries. And the reason why I'm bringing boundaries up is because in a situation like this, they may kind of be a little bit blurry because of how strong the relationships are. And again, I want to congratulate you guys on being able to have a strong relationship. Like, I love the fact that you have a friend that you consider a sister, and I love the fact that she's dating a guy that you like so much that you consider him a bro. That's what's up. That's what's up, right? But the reality of the situation is you and her have a relationship, That's one piece. You and him have a particular type of relationship because of you and her, and then him and her have a relationship, right? And I think in order for you to keep the boundaries in place with the news that you have just been given, you might need to consider what will work best for the relationship between you and your friend. Right, because I do understand that you want to be considerate of him as well because you have developed a relationship with him. And I think, again, that's what's up. But primarily, the relationship lies between you and your sister because if it wasn't for you and your friend, aka sister's relationship, you wouldn't even know this guy, right? You wouldn't even know this guy. So I think the best thing for you might be to do is you might have to consider the relationship you share with your friend, aka your sister, and what sharing this news with her can do for you guys' relationship, to you guys' relationship, shall I say, right? For and to both, right? Because I think that if it would help your relationship grow or help it to stay in good standing if she knew this information and you're aware of that, then by all means, I mean, you can share what you heard because that's another piece I want to get to, but hold on, we'll get there. You can share what you heard, right? Because I think when you're in sticky situations like this, it's all about intention. It's all about intention because sometimes, me personally, a person can get away with a bad act contingent upon their intentions. So I'll give you an example, right? Let's just say I was coming inside of a door, somebody was coming out a door, and they pushed the door really hard and it broke my glasses, right? The action is you pushed the door and it broke my freaking glasses, which is gonna piss me off because my glasses are broken, right? But you didn't do it with malicious intent. You just pushed the door maybe just because you're in a rush. You didn't do it because you saw me behind the door and knew that it would break my glasses, right? So I'm a person that I always think about the intention along with the actions because then it lets me know how I'm going to respond, right? So thinking about where you and your homegirl, aka sister's relationship is, right? Is this somebody who I've known all my life? Is this somebody who is important for her for you not to keep secrets from her? Is this somebody who will want to know something like this about their spouse? I think considering her and what will work for her, because then that helps you set your intention, right? So I know that there are some people, like for example, I am a person that I don't necessarily need you to share with me what you hear about my significant other unless it's something that's detrimental to my life or health, right? Other than that, I don't need to hear it because in my mind, God is going to reveal it. So whether you tell it to me or not, I'm going to find out. So if I found out a situation about my spouse and I found out a cousin of mine knew, I would totally understand why she didn't share it with me. I would totally understand why. And not because she just wanted to have a secret to keep from me, just because she felt like that wouldn't be the best news for me considering who I am. Right? So I think that you have to consider who you're dealing with, which is your friend. Because at the end of the day, if your friend and her boo split, you may still be cordial with the gentleman 9 times out of 10, but the relationship won't be as strong because I probably won't be seeing you as much because you're no longer with my friends. So there's no reason to see you, right? And not because I dislike you. You my homie, you was cool. That's what's up, right? But our relationship wouldn't be as strong if you wasn't with my friends. So therefore, I have to consider her first because she is the glue that bonds us, right? So I think about your friend, right? Is your friend the type that feels like, listen, we've been best friends from the dirt, from the core, and I feel like, any secrets that you may know, no matter what it is, you should tell it to me. And especially if it's about me or my spouse or whatever. If she's that type of person, then I can see you saying, well, let me just share it with her and let the chips fall where they may, right? But if she's not that type of person and you don't feel like this information is going to benefit her, your relationship or his and her relationship, which really that comes, I don't even want to say secondary, that probably comes along down the road. It's more so about you and your friend relationship and what's important to her and what she values, then it might not be the best thing to share with her. Another thing that I want to bring to the forefront is the credibility of where this information came from. Right? Because what you said was this is a gentleman that it seems like y'all didn't know each other that long, or y'all just started dealing with each other. So I don't know if you know him well enough to believe him about the information that he shared with you. Now, granted, in a perfect world, I don't want to believe a person would just go around making things like that up, right? But we do not live in a perfect world. We actually live in a very cruel one. So, I mean, I'm not trying to discredit your new street nigga or anything like that, but it could be possible. You know, you can't rule out the fact that he may just make something like that up. Again, I'm not saying he is. I don't know you or him personally, allegedly, because I might know you because this letter is anonymous. But in any event, I don't know him personally. I'm hoping I don't. I can't tell because this letter is anonymous. But anyway, like I said, I'm not saying that he's lying. I'm just saying that you might want to consider the source because, and Pookie says that all the time, consider the source, because you don't know this gentleman that well according to how you described it in the letter. Right? And I do get that, you know, sometimes you look at situations, you're like, well, why would this person want to do something like that? Like, case in point, why would he just want to make that up? Sometimes people do that. Sometimes people do that. I'm not saying he is, but sometimes people do that. So you don't want to rule anything out. So that's another thing. It's like, I'm not telling you not to say anything, but also think about, consider the source. That's really the long and the short of it. Consider the source. Also, I will say this. If you're interested in sharing with these two people who you have a relationship with and love and know a little more than this person, maybe getting more information from that person that is actually factual, right? Because you don't just want to run with something that somebody has told you that you just met versus folks that you've known a little longer and the relationship is a little stronger, right? So maybe getting something a little bit more tangible and factual to kind of make you feel secured in sharing, right? So like case in point, I know if it was me, I would be like, okay, so can I ask a question? He been was copping from you, or was this like 10 years ago? Like, let me know, when was this? And sometimes with a person that's dealing in the streets, he may not want to be so forthcoming with all that information. But the only reason why I would be asking him questions is because if you're going to be tight-lipped, you should have been tight-lipped from the beginning and never told me nothing. But the fact that you did share a little piece of what might be taking place, my dear, now I need that little to turn into a lot. You opened the door for this. I would have never came out and asked you, yo, how you know my bro? You sold drugs to him before? Hell no. What would be the reason I'm even thinking of that? That's only on my radar because you put it there. So now he has to anticipate a little bit more questions coming up for him. And if he wants to be tight-lipped with information now, after he already, spread it all out from the gate, then you might want to consider, is this something that you want to continue with? Because you put it out there for it to be on my radar clearly, because you didn't have to say any of that. You could have just said, listen, I don't know what he was acting funny for, but I'm good. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm good. You put it out there, some information that intrigued me. And it intrigued me because it involves the well-being and the safety of people that I love and care about. And I know for me, I'm going to be very honest. When it comes to that portion, I want to know. Like I said, if it comes down to you thinking my man is doing some funny business and you ain't say nothing to me, I probably can't be too mad about you because God will deliver the news in my lap. But when it comes to anything regarding drugs, because drugs is a major trigger for me, please be forthcoming with it. I don't care if you heard it. I don't care who you heard it from. I need to know. But that's me. That's me. My family and my friends know that's me. That may not be everybody. So again, having some conversation with the gentleman to say, hey, that load that you had dropped on my lap, I'm going to need a little bit more of that because that's a big load and I feel responsible in knowing this information. And before I, act on my responsibilities, I need to be clear on what I'm saying and what I'm doing. Right? And it also becomes very sticky because let's just say if you share with your friend, you definitely have to share where this came from because that's the other part of it. Okay, so now me, you, and my man been hanging out all this time and all of a sudden now you come and tell me my man on crack? God forgive me. I don't know. Pills, whatever the situation is. Like, now where you get that from? So your friend, even if not her man, your friend is going to be anticipating you sharing where did this information come from. And you got to be careful because let's just say your bro, which is your friend's man, gets defensive about your new boo sharing this information with you. Then it might be a whole nother situation between your boo, your bro, you, and everybody else in the mix, right? So that's a lot. You need to really decipher which relationships are important to you, which ones you prioritize, who you're okay with losing, and what you're okay with sharing, right? Because at the end of the day, you need this to work in favor of who you love and what you care about. Now, if you saying you're a person that, listen, I'm on to my new nigga and I see a future with him. I was tired of third wheeling it with them anyway. So if they get mad what I shared with them and they don't want my nigga around, I'm not going to be around them no more. Okay, if you're okay with sacrificing those relationships because of what you're trying to build over here, hey. But you have to also factor in and keep in mind that when you make certain decisions and share certain information, that these are the things that could happen. So be prepared, right? Be prepared. What I will say is this. I'll say a couple of things, right? Do a lot of self-work. The reason why I do Dear Deidre letters is because folks are writing into me because they may feel a little apprehensive about coming in for an Operation Heal 100 Heart session. So they may feel comfortable writing these anonymous letters, to share some experiences with me that they need help with, right? And every time that I get these submissions and I do the Dear Deidre letters, I always share with people that I'm giving feedback as if you were in a healing heart session. And when you're in a healing heart session, and anybody can tell you that has participated in one, and I've been in business a very long time, 9+ years and counting, is that I always bring a situation, a circumstance, and what's taking place back to you. So you could come to me and tell me, well, my baby mother or my baby father did boom, 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 boom. You run down 600 things that they did, right? And I'll listen to all 600 and I'll be compassionate towards that and empathetic towards that. But I'll always bring those situations back to you. Because I want to try to help you succeed and you be better and you do something different this time around and you have different results. So me conversing with you about what somebody else did when they're not present and they're not asking for my opinion on anything is just sheerly gossip, right? I can do that in my personal life. Healing Hearts is my business that I love to do. So in any event, when we have these conversations, it's always about how you can be better, right? And in this moment, I don't know what God is calling you to do, but I think that you can pretty much decipher what it is that you need to do if you consider all parties involved. Because this may not be easy, it may not be fun, but it may be something that you are called upon to do, and there's just a strategic way that you can do so. Am I saying run and tell your homegirl and say, hey, leave my brother alone. He ain't no good for you. He's on drugs. No. Am I telling you to say, you lying, you don't know my family, you just trying to break us up. Let me leave this nigga alone. No. I'm never telling anyone what to do in a healing heart session. I'm asking how in this session, how in this situation can you show that I'm evolving, I'm growing, I'm making choices that's better for me and everybody around me, and I'm also coming from a space of healing. Right? My other piece that I would like to know, right, is what did you feel? What did you feel prior to this gentleman giving you this information? What did you feel? Did you feel shocked and appalled because you never would have thought? Is it something like, oh, girl, that ain't far-fetched? Because I remember one time we were somewhere, he did blah, 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 that made me peek at him like, is this news that kind of rocked the core because you never would expect to hear something like that? Or is it something that is like, My homegirl did say one time that when they went to so and so, he got lit off of mushrooms. Like, is this something that's far fetched to you, or is it something that you might feel like could have some truth to it? And the reason why I ask is because I feel like, and I could be wrong, this is just me, but I feel like if somebody came to me, right, and said that some folks that I feel I'm very close with, and they were doing something that I feel I would never think that they were doing, my automatic response would be like, get the fuck out of here. Like, and then in that moment I would be asking like, well, when? Well, how? Well, what kind of drugs? And, I would even get defensive. I would even get defensive because I feel like the relationship I share with those people and all the stuff I know about those people and how much I love those people can't just lead me to believe what you're saying right now. So it would have been in that moment before I even needed help about sharing with anybody or any of this. So I would have to be like, yo, what? When? Where? Give me details. What time? And what you had on? And when y'all was doing this, was it pills? Was it coke? Like I would, excuse me, was it, what was it? Yeah. I would have to be asking those questions because in those moments, I will automatically be defensive because I feel like I know these people and I notice this is something I've never heard of. It's so far-fetched. But then my other question is, has there been times where A, you've been with the both of them and you've seen something funny? B, your friend has shared with you that one time we went to blah, 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 blah. He did da, 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 da. That kind of made you feel like, oh my God, there might be some truth here. Or C, and I don't mean to offend you when I say this, but I'm going to have to put it out there. Or C, is it that you're so tired of third wheeling and you're so tired of not having a man that whatever this nigga's telling you, you just running with because you ain't had nobody in such a long time? And maybe that's something that we could examine in a healing heart session because that's something that's very real as well. That's also something that I've seen before. Folks get in a situation, they're so happy to finally have someone and something to call their own that everything regarding that situation, they just run with and go against the grain and everything they've ever known because I'm trying to hold on to this so hard and for so long. I don't know. I'm not there. I do not know. But these are questions that I would be asking in the healing heart session because they're real questions. They are real questions. And they're not only questions about your bro, your sis, and a new man you're dating, but they're also introspective questions to make you kind of look at yourself like, what's happening here? What's the goal? What's the objective? How do we all win in this situation? Right? So what I will say is this, my dear, right? There's a few options. You have a few options. The first option that I would suggest is you sitting down and figuring out what works best for the people that you love the most. And from how it sounds like you and your friend, aka your sister, that bond is cemented and solid. So I think that you should think about what's going to work best for her. Not what's going to work best for her and her boyfriend. Not what's going to work best for you and her. Only what's going to work best for her. Because this is truly about her. If this guy would have told you this information just about a random guy she bought the dinner, you'd be like, okay, but that ain't her nigga, so who cares? Right? But I think that it matters most because you feel like the bond that they share and also the bond that all three of you guys share. So that's why it matters what your new boo told you. So think about what works for your friend, what's going to be beneficial to your friend, how your friend is going to benefit in this. Start there. And if this is information that is intricate to your friend and is going to better her, then by all means, you got to let the clip loose. And whatever your bro feel, that's on him and that's between them. But as a friend and a sister, if your friend needs this, then you need to give it to her, right? And that's just because you want to remain a friend and a sister, right? But again, this is the caveat to that. You have to consider the source. So before you let the clip loose on your friend, because you don't want to damage something without having all you need, you don't want to let off the clip without having all the ammunition. Right? So what you need to do is you need to try to get all the information from the gentleman. And if he wants to withhold information at this point, I think you need to reevaluate your situation. Because at that point, if you want to blurt something like that out, and then when I ask you details about it, all of a sudden you want to withhold information, I'm inclined to believe you was lying and you just said something slick because what I said, like, I think that you felt the way about the way he was treating you, so you just found something mean and malicious to say about him. Because what's the sense of hiding it now? You already let the big cat out the bag. So go on and get the rest. So before you even go to your friend, if he's going to be tight-lipped about giving you any further information after he already damn near spilled all the beans, then you might want to reevaluate that relationship and you might want to see if this can continue with your new nigga. Because he may just be jealous of the dynamic that all three of y'all share and he trying to come and stir the pot there. These are all things that could happen. So this is a tangly web we weave, my dear. This is a tangly web we weave, but it's not one that's impossible to get through. It's not one that's impossible to get through. What I will say is, in any event, I put it out there for folks to write Dear Deidre letters because they may be apprehensive about coming to have Operation Heal 100 Hearts one-on-one sessions. You may need more feedback than this. Come see me. The same way you was able to email me, I'm almost sure you got my IG, my YouTube, and everything else. Come see me. Come see me so we can have further conversation. But in any event, if you don't need further conversation and my response to this letter was enough, let's go through the steps again so you don't have this issue. The first step is getting more factual information from your new boo. The first steps is getting more factual information from your new boo, okay? Because you are not going to deliver something to your friend that you don't have facts on. So the first steps is getting factual information from your new boo. And once you're satisfied with what he delivered to you, then you have to assess if delivering that information to your friend is beneficial to her, right? If it's not, keep it to yourself. But if it is, as a friend and as a sister, you need to do your due diligence regardless of what relationship you share with your bro, aka her boo. Okay? In the moment, she may be heartbroken and all that, but y'all could get past that. If y'all have that many years of friendship, this won't be your first time. Y'all could hug and cry and eat ice cream together and get over it. You know? But at least if she's somebody that would want to know that information, she'll be grateful to you as a sister for sharing that with her. Okay, so I hope I was able to help. I hope I was able to help with this, Dear Deidre. I hope the feedback was good for you. Listen, I'm trying. And God's will, I hope that this helped you. And if it didn't, the same way how you was able to email me, I know you have my IG. I'm sure of that. And I know you have my YouTube because how you thought you was going to get your response to your letter. You know, reach out to me if you need a one-on-one session. Dear Deidre me again if that's what you need to do. But I'm always here to help. And I'm prayerful that I did this time around. Again, folks, like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me say that again. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Please make sure you're liking, you're commenting, you're sharing, and you're subscribed. Okay? Because this YouTube channel is intended to grow and you don't want to catch it when it's too late. Right? Come in for your Operation Heal 100 Hearts one-on-one sessions. I still do them. I do friend sessions. I do couple session. I do family sessions. I do anything you need me to because I'm all about the healing journey, right? And we are 9+ years in, so it's so celebratory for me to be able to say, look at my business flourishing and growing. All righty. Thank you. Thank you so much for your letter. I appreciate it so much. Let me know how you like my feedback. You can send me your same response in the email that you sent your letter in. I truly appreciate it, and I hope this helps.